Hey, this is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is the second of two of Star Wars Saturday's game of Trouble for Hire, a GM-full game that was originally designed for 70s grindhouse action style that I've done a very gentle reskin, more changing names and places than anything, trying to keep the author's intent for Ruben Carlos Ruiz, the protagonist in this game. We are playing a Star Wars The Hack of the Adventure Liminal, which comes in the Trouble for Hire book. But instead of being in America, we are on Tatooine because all good Star Wars stories have something to do with Tatooine. In the place known as Mos Shuta, a Tatooine border town, Ruben has arrived with 10 kilos of Sweet Island, a type of slick, which is a drug. He is here to sell it to the Bib Fortuna cartel. And he found out that Bib wanted to just kill him and take the Sweet Island for some reason. And then things have gone astray. We've had a number of sandstorms, a Trandoshan reporting to Bib Fortuna, who now is running Jabba's cartel, and Bib deciding to send out some forces towards the place where Ruben is currently holed up in Mos Shuta, which is at the Our Lady of the Wills. Yes, we have a Dark Side Gran who made a brief appearance and then promptly disappeared. And if I remember correctly, and this is the point where I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. We'd ended our last scene with at the Our Lady of the Wills. Ruben was trying to help his companion Tia. She faded into the Force and told Ruben that El Cacti, an old friend, had stolen something of his and sold it to Bib Fortuna, and it was time for him to get it back, that his ally was the Force, and a strong ally it was. And if she faded into translucent to nothingness, did her clothes just fall to the ground, or did she just fade away? Oh, nice. So we did that. I love that. Cool. Is there anything else that I missed that folks want to? I'm sure there's a lot I missed. We played for several hours. So any other very important details that folks want to throw out about our story so far?
You might have mentioned it, and I missed when I was waiting to hear the nun disappearing. Outside Our Lady of the Wills, Bib's gang is there, right? Where our heroes surrounded.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what we'll start off with is Bib's gang staying outside. Oh, and also the other sort of Damocles that exists is that the person who sent Ruben Carlos Ruiz here is off in another world, Jarl Sagan, and Jarl has an orbital strike gang that if at any point Ruben wants to call in for backup, they will show up, and it'll be bad news for Bib Fortuna's cartel and many, many others, because they are bad dudes. Yeah. Cool. Any other deets or details folks want to throw out? Okay. Well, thanks everybody for making time again for our little bit of fun. Let's figure out. We are currently at mile marker 5, which the Dewback Stampede or the Nuns Fight Back is the setup or prompt. At the previous mile marker, we spent a lot of RPM at the end of last scene, so we are well into the next scene. This could be the fastest of all scenes. Let's go around and figure out who wants to be Ruben. I've really enjoyed Cody as Ruben.
Well, I just left. I was just playing Ruben, so I think
That's a whole week ago, though. I mean, who remembers that?
Well,
Sherry has not played Ruben.
I do not think that I have the voice for Ruben today. I am drinking coffee like crazy to keep my voice. But
maybe in this shootout scene, Ruben doesn't speak. Maybe it's one of those moments.
If the voice is a bit gravelly, that will fit Ruben just fine, wouldn't it?
All right, I will try Ruben.
All right, I'm proud of you. Way to go. You're a protagonist. Okay. Since we've had Tia pass into the force, I'm guessing that we don't have a Campañero.
Campañero is a generic thing.
That's true. It could be another.
Another Campañero. His old friend, the bounty hunter, could show up and shoot these adversaries because.
Or there's a whole set of sisters here for replacements too.
So many options. So many options. I think had someone said the sister of
right.
Someone stuck the sister of Jabba in here, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Jabba the Hutt. So Jabba's sister. She has no name though.
Right. She will get a. She does have a name, but she doesn't use it because she is a sister of the Wills now. So you can call her. Can you call her Sister Serenity?
Oof, it's kind of cool. I like it.
Yes. Yeah. She doesn't use her hot name anymore.
There we go.
As I understand it, Sister Serenity is very well armed. Is that correct?
She certainly has access to weapons.
The Force provides preparation for all manner of circumstances. And I'm thinking I'm playing a Campañero and I'm playing Sister Serenity.
I think that's exactly what you're doing. That sounded like a setup for anything. That's awesome. Right? Cool. What would you be interested in playing, Cody?
Yeah, I think I threw a photo for Sister Serenity into Keeper.
You did. Thank you.
So what we know is in this scene, at least, we have the protagonist, we have the villain. So we need the villains for sure. And I have not played the villains yet. So I think I will play La Villanos this
Cool. Season. So what am I going to play? Let's see. By playing La Villanos, please take an RPM.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to spend so much RPM.
Add another point, another RPM to Road Through the World, Los Espectadores, because they are not going to be chosen. I think I'm going to take La Extraño, which La Extraño was chosen last time, so no RPM benefits for me. Cool. Dang, I could have taken the editor, and since I did I didn't do it exciting as movie, so maybe it's good that I didn't take the editor. All right. So Ruben, you just watched Tia pass into the Force, leaving behind only her little habit. And she told you that El Cacti. Is Al Cacti in this scene, or was he moved on? Okay.
Yeah, I think El Cacti was he was riding ahead of the worm, right?
Right.
Wasn't it? So he would have been out in the desert, and then when they came back, so he probably, yeah, that's what I remember.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. So I think Ruben has just sort of done the blink after Tia disappears. And then you see him go, and he's sort of looking and checking what he's got on his person. And he stands up and turns around and runs back to get the bag that has the Sweet Island stuff, and starts to, because he can hear the stuff going on outside, starts to run towards an exit that he's hoping in towards the back, and kind of runs right up into Sister Serenity.
Yeah. And Sister Serenity will know it all. at this point, because I have too many RPMs anyway, I've put him up in the thing, and Sister Serenity will, will stop you, and she comes slithering from the shadows. She's pretty quiet when she's slithering. And she says, wait, friend, this is not the right act. Your enemy is at the gate already. You cannot leave this way, at least not until you are willing to shoot your way out. And then she has a large blaster rifle because she has one.
Oh, and he sort of stops, and I think, shoot. And let's see, does he have like a signature weapon? No.
For you to decide.
Now he does.
Yeah, now he does. What's his signature weapon, Sherry?
Let's see here. I think he has a blaster that's sort of like Han Solo's, but it's got like this tricky side barrel to it that hasn't been shown what it does, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah. So he's like, well, and he goes, I have to get out of here. But she's got the big gun, and he does that sort of thing as she's like lifts it up.
No, she does not. She does not threaten him with it.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, she's just hefting it. She's just like, Sister Tia gave you a task, stranger.
And looks to the side to see if he can get around her. And then sort of turns and swivels on his foot and like goes, okay, I'm right behind you.
Good, follow me. We'll go into the catacombs beneath the temple. And I feel that maybe this should be the point where somebody tries to enter the temple, some enemy or something.
From outside, you can hear a voice call out, Ruben Carlos Ruiz, you better come out now with your hands held high. That slicks for Fortuna gang now.
Yeah, and I think Ruben turns back and like looks outside to see what the forces are, like sort of peeks through that corridor that they've gone down, and the door is still open at the far end.
You can see that there was a Trandoshan speaking. There's also 2 other armed members, but I'm starting to challenge here, man versus man. The villains are acting in direct opposition. They have one of the nuns grabbed and are holding a blaster to her.
Ooh, oof. Are we a cool picture of Twillick in there? Is it that Twillick girl that we have in our Sisters of the Wills?
Sure, yep. It's the Twillick sister. Awesome. And she's held in the arms of Hugmeg the Gamorrean.
Sister Serenity she won't go pale because huts don't do that, but she will react and she says, no. They have Sister Aurea.
And Ruben's like, okay, I'm gonna turn myself in. And then he does a big wink. And I think that he will step out and sort of hands up.
Oh, before you go, Sister Serenity will advise you that this Trandoshan, she knows him, and I will establish another fact because why not? He has a weakness, and I think his weakness is he absolutely hates Rhodian opera. The first bars of a Rhodian opera song, and he will just lose. He will just lose it.
And then Ruben goes, "Okay, when I get to the 3rd door, hit the opera." And he's gonna go forward. And since he's keeping his hands up, but he's got his gun kind of, I should say, his holster is is open so that he can pull easily, but it's coming forward. And when he gets to the essentially that door, he makes a show of tripping over the threshold. Hopefully the opera comes on at this point and starts going, and he will shoot to try to free the sister. So I roll now.
Awesome. Yes, you do. You're going to be rolling 2d6, and Los Campañero, you can also roll a d6 if you'd like.
Cool. I will.
Oh gosh, terrible roll. 1 to 2.
Okay, so you need to assign one. I assume fighting is the kick die.
Yeah.
That table.
Yep.
So you can assign a 1 or a 2 to the kick, and then the other one will go to results, and you're going to have to spend RPM to push that up to at least a 3.
I only have 1 RPM.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no. You
But
are,
you
according to the...
You have a 4 that you can, I think, assign to. No, not the result, right?
So Sister Serenity, you roll a 4 and it goes to helping hand, I think. You can help in an unexpected way. Oh, yeah, cool.
Both Ruben and Los Campañero get 1 RPM. Ha!
Wait, what does that do? Gives me 2?
You get a second RPM, and you could, of that 1 and 2, you could give the 2 to results and then spin an RPM to push it to a 3. Or you can put the 1 and spin both your RPM to push it to a 3, and then you've got... So really, do you want winded? Do you lose an RPM, or KO? You're out of the fight. Oh, wow, that's messed up.
Let's see here. Oh, these are bad. KO. So I guess I will put the 2 in it. And that, no, I have to put the 1 in it, move it up 2, and then I lose an RPM. So I'm at -1 RPM. What does that do?
You can't. I don't think it can go to negative. So it's just you're winded and you still get consequences. So what are the consequences, La Velanos?
The consequences are I'm going to actually do sorry. I thought I had a good one, but let's see here. Bad to worse, describe increased risk. Yeah, I think it's bad to worse. I think your attempt at subterfuge with the playing of Rhodian opera and the stumble actually puts you on your back foot. Carlos stumbles behind perhaps some crates. The men of Brib Fortunas fire off their guns and blow apart a chunk of the will of the Our Lady of the Wills, spending 2 collateral damage, 2 RPM for collateral damage there. And now they have all of their guns drawn on you. The sisters dropped to the ground, but now they're, it's now or never. You're not going to get a chance to get the drop on them.
Nice.
Okay.
And so you're going bad to worse, which means that Ruben has to roll again, right?
Yes, with 0 RPM.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, this could be it. Oh, no, a 5 and a 5.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay.
I was getting very nervous for our protagonist, our hero.
All right. So is this fighting or wild card? Like some sort of tricky maneuver here?
What do you think? You choose.
Let's see here.
Yeah, you describe your tact and then you roll with that in mind, but you got 2 5s, so I mean, it's going to be a 5.
Let's see here. What are the results of the die? I guess I'll do fighting then. And
ooh, scrappy as hell.
Yeah, so I'll take the 5. It says add 1 to the results of the die or gain 2 RPM that cannot be used in this challenge. So that might be good. So
which one do you want?
Let's see here.
Do you want to succeed excellently or get 2 RPM?
Oh, let's succeed excellently, and I'll just run at 0 RPM for because this is goofy fun. Okay, so I succeed excellently. So essentially what happens is he's there on the ground. He still has his gun, but I mean, he's completely down. They have all their guns on him. And essentially he makes the thing of getting up, started to get up, and he manages to get a shot off, and there they are standing in that sort of entrance right way, and they've already caused a bunch of collateral damage. He shoots up and it falls on them. Essentially gives him a second to get up and reposition. So he will be up and over by the one with the sister at the end of the scene here, with his gun pointed at that guy's head.
Nice.
The Gamorrean holds up her blasters. I don't want any trouble. Just a job.
That's right. It's just a job. And he'll sort of put his arm between the sister and the Gamorrean and sort of like push her along to go. And he goes, so precisely what was the job again, with a gun still at her head?
It's just, you were supposed to make the delivery and you didn't. We were just coming to make sure you didn't double cross is all.
So you're my escort?
Yes.
Excellent. And he sort of turns back towards the sisters, and he's pushed them on, and he's like, I'm gonna go. And he'll go, good, because then he sort of picks the thing up. He goes, my speeder isn't working anymore. It was going to be a long walk. Keeps his gun out on the Gamorrean, but walks along with her back to their speeder so he can get this delivered.
Nice. So you effectively, Ruben has stolen their by force. That's great. I love it. So we had spent enough to switch over into the next mile marker, a bad time in Almost Shuta. I think that we saw a lot of that just then. Do we want to carry forward with Ruben heading off to meet with Bib Fortuna? Is that?
I think what happens, let's see here, is there is that thing where we have the sort of smoking gun of the orbital strike team.
Mm-hmm.
And you do see, I think, Ruben hit the button for that, because if there's going to be a bad time in Moshuta, it does seem like we need an orbital strike bad time.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my. Cool.
But that would be the end of the scene thing. Unless that requires RPM.
Nope.
Okay.
Does not require RPM.
So that's what we do. Is the last thing you do is see him do the summon on that.
Nice. Cool. I am thinking about something La Extraño-esque as you're on a speeder. So what is, first of all, since it's La Veranos, what does their speeder look like? The thing they arrived in that Ruben has just taken.
Yeah, you know what? It looks like Luke's land speeder from A New Hope, but it has a large flatbed on the back. The top engine has been removed, so there's two on the left side and one on the right, and then there's a big flatbed that a bunch of goons are allowed to hang out on, like a long El Camino, essentially. Yeah, so it's for, hauling cargo and hauling boys, and that's ready to go for them.
That's great.
Yeah, and Sister Serenity, for some reasons, already on board or getting on board right at this point, because she has apparently decided to come along to provide moral support and some maybe a bit of firearms if that is needed. That should be necessary.
Okay, I like that. I think
It's,
Ruben like looks back and sees her and goes,
is that a thing where Bib Fortuna's men know who Sister Serenity is and don't want to mess with her?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, they're kind of used to, oh, that's a hot, we get out of its way, whoever that is, even if she calls herself Sister Serenity now.
Nice. Cool. So the now beaten Bib Fortuna thugs piloting the brown, right? Because you said it was like Luke's speeder, but more like longer or something. Yep. Like a truck bed. That's great. Zipping along, we see the dust kick up, and there's that weird hazy bit of space underneath the speeder. We see a bunch of sand dunes, and off in the distance is Jabba's palace. And along the way, Ruben, I will be spending 2 RPM. I don't have a lot, so I can either do Vision Quest or Man versus the Unknown. And Ruben's been challenged a lot right now, so I'll just do that. And I'm now going to look at the themes so I can see if there's a theme I can introduce. Oh, you're right. We need to change roles. Gosh, I didn't even like Extraño. So yeah, we're in. You guys are heading off, and let's change roles. So I'm gonna take back those 2 RPM. Thank you for that reminder. I've forgotten.
okay.
To change roles. So cool. Let's change roles. Who wants to be Ruben?
I think I can be Ruben for a bit.
Okay, go for it.
That's cool.
I want to be the spectators. La expectore. Because that gives me 2 RPM.
Good call.
Mm-hmm.
Go. Plus, someone has to see the strike force coming into town.
And what would you like to be, Cody?
I'll be the road through the world.
Nice. You get 2 RPM for that.
Nice.
And I'm going to give up like Extraño. So it'll now get a thing. And I think if I choose the editor, then there's a way to get some cheap and easy. It's almost like cheap, easy heat and World War Wrestling, you know? Mm-hmm. But I think we need to have some villains. So I'm going to choose the villains. All right.
All right. So, road through the world. We are traveling, I think, towards Bib Fortuna's palace.
I was just about to ask. Yeah, so we fully have left Mashuta, the heavily laden land speeder with Sister Serenity, Ruben, the Gamorrean thug, and kilos of that sweet slick are barreling down the desert off, heading towards Jabba's palace. The red sands of Tatooine kicking up and swirling behind the engines. The Gamorrean at the controls, a big bead of sweat dripping down her head as Ruben's blasters trained on her. And that is where our scene begins.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that you see is a set of kids come running out of one of those houses that's in that transitional period because clearly like they're playing some game, but as they kind of approach the road and they see this go by, they all stop and stare because it is, how should I say, an unusual sight with the hut on the back and someone with a gun trained on the head of the thing in the of the driver, and you see them all turn tail and run back. And then we switch, and there's another roadway. It looks very similar. And on this one, it is essentially the Tuscan Raiders that we saw earlier, and they are parked off of the road, but watching through their binoculars, or essentially that they use to see far ways. And we see another kick up of the cloud. It looks like you're going to see the speeder come in again, but instead you see essentially these very trimmed down, like, what are the ones that they had, the little zippy speeders with the from Endor, like those very small personal
bikes.
Yeah, they're the speeder bikes. You see an incredibly sort of petite rider on one of those coming in through. And they've got, like, you can't see them, but they've got this cool helmet down. They're coming, they zip through, and then right behind them are like 4 big hulky guys with like guns and, essentially huge guns strapped in front of them. But in front of them, this tiny little person who's like driving in there and seems to be waving them forward as they go. And there's this big cloud behind them. So, stinger of music.
So I assume that is the orbital strike.
The orbital strike, yes.
Okay. Did Ruben meet them before, or do they know each other, or is this more of a surprise?
I think
it's just
purely
called,
theoretical.
Hey,
yeah, purely theoretical up to this point. Never met them.
Okay. So yeah, he's just waiting to be contacted by the strike team that he's ordered. He's a bit nervous because, well, he's on the land speeder with this Gamorrean who seems to be nervous, but there are others around, I imagine. And Sister Serenity is not exactly a comforting sight, right? Because of that, she has that big ass blaster and she seems to be on the side, but you never know with that, right? Also, he is a bit worried what he will do when he gets to the Fortuna, because there is this weapon. Yeah. He will strike up a conversation with the Gamorrean. Just the Fortuna is hunting things right now on Tatooine, right?
I think spectators, well, do we define them because they were defeated as villains? I imagine that the villains in this scene are probably the threat of the orbital strike, or is this a spectator, the Gamorrean? Like, what role do we think controls this Gamorrean for this conversation?
Quick question for clarity. Is the strike team against Ruben?
No.
Okay.
That's true.
The way you mentioned it, I was kind of confused. I think the Gamorrean, despite being defeated, could still be a villain because they are a representative of the villain's forces in this beat.
Awesome. Yeah. So I role play as characters aligned against Ruben. So I guess I will be the female Gamorrean. What did you name her again?
It's the one in the character keeper.
Oh, NPCs. That's right. We already got her.
Hoogmeg.
Hoogmeg is such a great name. Hoogmeg.
Or is Hoogmeg. It Huge Meg? It's fine.
I like Hoog. Hoog is much better than Huge. Huge Meg would be a really hilarious name, though. And so Hoogmeg says, "Bid Fortuna control Tatooine. No worry. We no kill you now."
I wonder, Bid Fortuna. I don't know much about him. I know he was Jabba's right-hand man. I know he's the leader. What's he like? What's his deal? What's his interest? Does he like opera?
What's opera?
You heard the noise that came out of the monastery. That's opera.
Rhodian trash.
So he doesn't like Rhodians? Or do you not like Rhodians?
Damn
it. How do I get her to talk to me?
Let's see. So, what are you trying to gain? Just chatter, or because you're nervous, or is Ruben trying to gain some?
No, Ruben is trying to gain some insight into Bib Fortuna, because if Bib Fortuna has that old weapon of his, question is, does he know what he has?
Nice. So it sounds like you're trying to. That sounds like a Los Espectadores, like when you're. Oh no, knowing people, finding the right contact. I don't know. Maybe it isn't that challenge. Oh, you know what? I'll spend the 3 RPM. Let's see you man versus man. Do you outwit Hoogmeg to gain information? I will spend 3 RPM, and let's see. Ruben,
I think this is wild card, right?
Yeah, feels like
this is wild card. Okay. Okay, and I rolled 2, 3 6s.
3 6s? Should be 2d6.
D6s. The English, Oh wow.
Oh,
okay.
Wow, you are really good at this. Holy cap.
Yeah. Well, I'm the Gamorrean whisperer, I think. Yeah. So gain the amount of RPM that we spend on the challenge. That's
I spent 3 RPM to make the challenge happen, so you get 3 RPM out of that. Well, you are flush with RPM. I think
I was trying to get rid of them, and I succeed excellently.
This game works so much better when you try to burn those RPM. That's great. So Hoogmeg says, Bib Fortuna, he's smart. He say Jabba die because he make it happen. He tell small pink woman to choke him. Blow up the skiff. He gonna take Sweet Island. So Sagan not work here. You're gonna be a message. But I make sure you don't die.
Oh. Thank you. I appreciate that, Hoogmeg.
You gotta live, so you tell Sagan how bad we break you.
Oh, interesting. And I'm not feeling like I'm being broken right now, though.
Not yet.
Well, we'll see how this turns out, I guess.
I think that as Ruben is and the speeder are going down, there's a rise up above off the roadaways, and you kind of see a glint from it. The camera switches over, and you see the 5 from the orbital strike team up there watching the speeder go by. Few hand gestures, and they start heading down.
But Ruben does not notice this, right? This is just the spectator.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, then what else can I do here? Is this just me and this Gamorrean woman on the speeder, or are there others?
But there are others. There's the Sister Serenity decided she wanted to come along, and the rest of the thugs.
So they don't seem very much more informed than Hoogmeg is, right? So yeah. I will ask her what it will take for her to switch sides, because Sagan has a lot of influence. And Bib Fortuna is just small potatoes. Maybe not a Tatooine, but in the galaxy.
As you're asking this question to the Gamorrean, up ahead, a herd of banthas are all of a sudden stampeded across the roadway, blocking you.
Oh no.
Something's up and you need to get by.
Okay. I think I will take control of the speeder then.
Yeah.
Tell the thug that is currently operating it like, friend, maybe sit down. Let me show you how a speeder is really driven. And then I'm driving into the herd of banter and just trying to treat them as an asteroid field, right? Like swiveling through them.
Did you throw up a challenge? Is that a challenge that Ruben needs to beat?
Yeah. It's the man versus nature challenge, dealing with weather, dealing with animal attacks / overcoming physical objects. These animals might attack. We'll see what happens.
Okay. I think we need more themes here, friends, because I don't think my bad feeling comes into this. No.
Yeah, we need more themes. We definitely. Yeah, I think you can just introduce a theme.
Yeah, well, I can definitely. So let's see here. We have the thing of how about delays? As a theme. Just where So let's just put a theme of delay. And but I think I put 2 RPM on it.
Okay. Oh well. Nice. Okay, then I'll hit that one, I think, and that gives me RPM, right? Damn it. I think I need to play the villains next or something where I can for all the RPMs. I need to roll. Oh, well.
This is pod racing.
It's basically kind of is. So I've got a 4 and a 5, and this is driving. Oh,
yeah.
I could move the progression tracker to the next checkpoint with a 5 because I don't really need more RPM. Or I could create a new theme. Yeah, I think I will create a new theme and have some success. The consequences might also be nice. You know what? I'll use the 5th gear. No, doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Yeah, I'll create a new theme and do the success. And the theme here is, what's the theme?
I'm going to give Los Villanos the green light because I think this is a key opportunity for them to start some trouble. And in the rules, you can give the green light for anything. So, Rich, you have 3 extra RPM.
Yay!
Nice.
I need that.
Yeah, cool. I will also create the theme of distraction, right?
Okay, delays and distractions. Those are good.
Distraction or destruction?
Distraction.
Ah, weird. These are odd themes. Okay, interesting. Good. So I think what happens at that moment is that the 5 speeder bikes with the orbital posse kick into gear, and this is when they make their attack because they've observed this, right? They see that Ruben is in trouble, and now they launch into action with blaster fire all around as they plan on killing all of the people in the speeder except for you, Ruben.
Thank you. That's nice, I guess. Damn it. Okay. I don't want them to kill Sister Serenity. I don't.
Cool. So I'm kidding. Destruction, not just. I keep thinking it's destruction, but it's distraction. I think you have a bad feeling about this.
Oh yes, I do have a bad feeling about this. Totally, I have such a bad feeling about the whole thing. Oh wow, they are attacking the people I don't want them to. Damn it.
Rich, is this man versus man challenge?
Well, I'm introducing. What I did first was collateral damage, acts of the opposition, results of the opposition's actions. So I'm harming bystanders and damaging the setting. They are firing on but they're not attacking Ruben at this point, right? So they felt like that was more appropriate. Yeah. So I'm collateral damaging the crap out of stuff. The speeder gets hit, starting to throw out smoke. The Gamorrean squeals in fright.
Yeah, and I think there's a herdsman essentially out there by the bantha who's been trying to get their herd back off the road. And essentially they see this firing starting out into the middle of their herd, and you see them wheel around looking for some safe place for themselves and for their animals. And they catch, like, you can see the wall that's around Bib Fortuna's compound, and you can see, like, essentially there's a little flash, and you see these gun muzzles coming out from along the top of the wall. So clearly Fortuna's forces are all ready.
Okay, this is not ideal, but it's not totally bad, because distraction. This is because if we're close enough to the palace that these guns are coming out and these guys are shooting, I will I think I'll take the gun off Hookmek, tell her good luck, be seeing you, and then I will nod to Sister Serenity and try to get off the speeder bike, maybe onto one of the banthas, and just use this distraction to get to the palace, right? I don't know who I'm rolling against with this action.
That's a great question.
Is that the villains, because they're
supposed to deliver you, but you are headed there.
Yeah, I'm not headed there the way they want me to go. So, and they are distracted by this other team.
It's
and
indeed
there's
true.
There's a lot going on.
Okay. Do we feel that right now Ruben is fighting against...
we could eat. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Do we feel that the nature is the conflict here, trying to get into Jabba's palace? I threw a picture just so we all have that in our minds. I threw a picture on the NPCs and places. It's on the right-hand side. It's underneath the map of Mos Shuta. So hopefully everybody gets a chance to see how cool Jabba's palace is. So do we think that this is a man versus nature, or is it a man versus man as the villains try to chase after Ruben while being fired upon by the orbital posse?
Well, the road through the world has no RPM to spend on a challenge.
Okay, then.
So it's that. But
I have another idea.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Maybe we could just end the scene here with Ruben getting on a bantha and
I like that.
Getting off, and start out with him. Then at the next scene, him trying to get into the palace, where we have maybe RPM again and can throw up challenges and stuff like that. Does that sound like a fair idea? You think?
Yeah, and I just changed the mile marker to say everybody gets to start 3 RPM because there's just not enough refreshes. So everybody gets 3 RPM. We are going to switch up roles with Ruben heading into the palace, and I think that's a great cut. That's a good suggestion. We're getting pretty good here. This is good. Cool. Who would like to be Ruben? I think Cody should be Ruben.
Cody's turn.
Definitely.
All right. Okay, I can be Ruben again. All right.
2 sweet RPM for anybody who chooses the editor. I haven't seen Sherry edit.
Oh, edit is like where you just change things up in some insaner ways.
And you also get to earn RPM by like setting the scene in a dramatic way too.
Oh, but I'm terrible at that.
Oh, you're not terrible at it, Sherry.
Yikes. I don't need XP. All right.
RPM? You don't need RPM?
I don't need RPM, yeah. But I will try it. Okay. So the recap. So
okay, so you're going to take editor. What do you want, Sabine?
I think I'll take Extraño. I haven't done that, and I feel if it's ever going to show up, it should be here, right?
Yeah, especially because I mean, the mile marker we've hit is the call you never want to get.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a phone call.
No, and yeah, I have an idea.
All right. So you're going for Extraño. That's cool. And Cody is Ruben. Yay. What do I want? I feel like there needs to definitely be something, but I don't want the villains to be on the fore here for this whole scene. I want like Extraño, so I think I'm gonna go Road Through the World. It's weird, but I think I'm interested in that.
Okay. And so to recap, Ruben arrives through Bantha, through gunfire, through the walls. He's finally here to face Bib. And that's it, just stops.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think that what you see is it cuts to like everything's dark. Okay, I have 10 RPM.
Yes.
Anything I want for the rest of the thing. Okay.
So good. You got all kinds of cool bits here.
All right. So, and I think we go to a cutaway, and essentially a door like swings or is flung open, and we see a young Twillick sort of run into the room and go, Master Bib, and essentially is trying to wake up Bib Fortuna. And it's awesome. A very, so.
So I guess it's a Tawarawanga. And we have a corpulent Bib Fortuna wake up and look around. It's the siesta time, right? So he's doing the traditional Jabba the Hutt, taking their siesta, and things are not good. So I'm going to add some details to the scene, the describing setting, scenery, and atmosphere. We have Ruben traversing his way, sneaking through Bib Fortuna's palace. And I think that maybe a detail I want to add in, because I'm selfish, is that one of the rooms that we see Ruben moving through as there is the sounds of battle outside now rousing everyone, is he moves through the room where it was a droid torture chamber, and everything in this room has been dismantled and destroyed. So only keen eyes that recognize it from Return of the Jedi would even know that it's the same room. Every piece of torture device has been torn apart, and we see the dull metal head of the droid that was the lead torturer, who evidently has been dismantled during the aftermath of Jabba dying, and nothing was left of him other than that dismantled head.
There's an odd feeling of coldness and almost decay hanging in this room, which is odd because these were not alive things that were decimated here, or were they? There is a frisson in the force almost. It's like somebody stepped on your grave.
Ruben walks across the hallway, pauses, and looks back at this room, and he feels that prickling on the back of his neck. And he looks and he turns and he realizes Sister Serenity is not behind him. She got lost somewhere. And I think he kind of pulls his jacket a little bit closer, tucks his head a little lower as the blaster fire still rings outside. And he keeps walking through these tunnels to find Bib.
There are steps in one of these tunnels, heavy steps, purposeful steps. And they're coming towards you, maybe towards something else. Do you want to check?
When Ruben first hears the footsteps, he pauses a moment just to hear and brushes them aside. But when they are purposeful, when they are measured, there's a sense of familiarity with those steps. Ruben stops and pulls himself into a little alcove along a hallway and waits to hear if the steps fade, if they're not real at all, or if they come closer.
They come closer. It's an odd gate, almost like a limp or something, but it comes closer, not fast. This is somebody taking their time.
I got a
then across it. Yes, you do. And I think then you can see in the backlit lit from behind, there's a figure of a person, not human. Maybe that Gran you saw earlier.
I turn, wheel the blaster with the second barrel on the Gran, and I say, I don't want any trouble, but if you're here to make it, I'm here to end it.
There's a cut. We see Sister Serenity. She's going down a hallway, and there's no one there. And you see her look both ways, and she hits a panel, and a door that you couldn't see previously slides open. And she goes through a little corridor.
The Gran stands. You can feel that you are being regarded. And then he says in an odd, almost scratchy voice, you will not get what you have been tasked to get. Take care of your little drugs and forget the rest. You will not get your weapon back.
I think you have me confused, mister. Now, if you'll step aside, I can take care of business.
Let me see. Oh, yeah. And he moves a hand in your direction. It's not a force strike per se, right? It's more of a, like in your mind, pictures start emerging. Like you have a vision of dread, and you see your old weapon, and you see it is in some place. It is strapped into a contraption, right? Like, and there are red energies playing around it or coming from it. It's unclear. There's something going on with that weapon. It's powering something. It's being used for something. And I'm spending RPMs here. And yeah, this is precisely your weapon. Let's see there.
Ruben clears his head, fires a shot at Extraño.
Okay, I think we will have to go into man versus the unknown now, because this is the challenge, because that he doesn't like. I mean, he might have let you just pass you weren't doing anything, and I think we're both trying to check these boxes here.
And I think you have to say this is a very dark side experience, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's not.
It's pretty dark side. Yeah, seems so. Seems like it. And do I get an RPM for hitting a theme? Right, I do.
Yes, you do.
Don't I? Cool.
You check the box from the theme, and then you get that RPM.
Okay. So yeah, man versus challenge myself, and then the Grand will try to turn aside your blaster shot with a wave of his hand. Another wave of his hand. He likes to wave his hands ominously a lot.
Yeah, Ruben's fighting off this vision while firing the shot. He just doesn't want to be in this hallway with this figure anymore. I think this is fighting. He's firing that shot and hoping to just barrel down the hallway without him. See here, 3 and a 6. So 3's consequences and a 6 would be takedown. Add 2 to the results die, which would kick to a 5. A 3 for fighting would be lucky shot, the challenging player. So Sabine, you would get an RPM, and then I would succeed excellently with the 6. Unless, of course, there's something that hinders me. These are pretty good rolls, actually.
Oh, hold on. Just tell me where you want. I've got a thing I can do. I just want to know where you want to stick your results. What number you want to put in the results.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to it's tough. I think I'm doing a lucky shot because it is just a quick lucky shot. So a 3 on the fighting die and a 6 on my results die. I succeed excellently.
Ooh, 6 on your results die, succeeding excellent. What the heck? The world keeps spinning. There's an explosion just outside of this room that sends both Extraño and Ruben send you off balance, and that will cause your success, your excellent success, to become a mere success. And I'll spend 2 RPM for that, and that will finish our scene. The stink of death all around you is the mile marker that we have unlocked, and now we will switch roles for the I can't believe it. Do we want to take a break before our final stretch here? Yeah, it's 10 after. I'm going to pause here. We have reached the 8th mile marker, friends. This is exciting. Ruben, I'm not going to do your recap because somebody might want to do that as the editor, so I'll just shut up. Let's choose roles. Sherry, what do you want to play?
Oh my gosh. Ooh. I don't know. The Campañero.
Cool. The Campañero. Cody, what do you want?
I mean, let's see here. We're gonna need a Ruben.
Yeah.
Final scene. The stink of death is all around you.
Yes.
That sounds like some villain territory, or some Extraño territory. The Extraño it was in that last scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we definitely gotta have a villain. We gotta have that.
Well, if we have to have a villain and we have to have Ruben, I was Ruben last time. I'll be villain, and Rich, you can be Ruben.
Oh man, I got forced into Ruben. What about Sabine? Sabine maybe wants to be Ruben. Sabine.
No. I've been Ruben a lot. You just were. I feel it circles back. You started out as Ruben. You're ending up as Ruben. It's fine. And I think
you can be villain if you want. I for some reason I thought you'd already picked.
No, I don't want to be a villain. I think I might want to be an editor.
Fun. I wanted to see you as editor anyway, so that's perfect.
Okay.
I don't know if it helps you guys, but doing the renames for the roles each time has been really helpful for my brain, being able to keep track of who can do what. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trying to rename myself, and then I couldn't.
Oh, sorry.
Somebody else had done it.
I was in the middle of it.
You're always so quick. Okay, but let's start out with a recap here. So let me get into the headspace of where we were. Well, yes, let's start out that way. Trouble on Tatooine. In remote city of Moshuta, Ruben Carlos Ruiz has arrived bearing the name of this. Sorry, I forget all the funny names. Lost Island, a drug that is of interest to the local cartel. There have been shootouts, there have been chases, there has been a bantha herd, and there have been dark forces on the move. We have seen Ruben enter the palace of Bib Fortuna, only to be confronted by a dark figure who told him not to seek his weapon. But the light side of the force, represented by Sister Tia, told him that he should get his weapon. What will Ruben do? Where will he go? Will he just take his money and run, or will he fight for the force for one last time?
Very good, very good. You have definitely earned that. That's some 3 RPM for you. Cool. So we've got Los Campañero and La Valanos. So how does the sidekick show up again?
So I think that you see her and she's in some sort of strange room. It's a little bit dark. There's just a little bit of a glow, but she comes in and she sort of puts her hand up on the wall and lights come up. There's a bunch of monitors and things like that. And she sort of like starts flipping those on. It's weird, this sort of strange physical tech that goes along with that. And as you see the one come on, you see such Ruben being flung across the room, hitting the wall. And essentially what looks like the wall on the other side coming down. And he's stuck in there, and she goes, and she reaches over to the button, and you see, and she hits one of the buttons, and the floor underneath Ruben gives way. It drops down into a level below where he was.
Sorry, I'm gonna nerd out. Is it cool if the level he drops into is the Rancor area for return? So we got the like grates.
Yep.
Sweet. Hi, I'm a Rancor. Remember the Rancor's dead. Just saying.
Yeah, let's do a quick cutaway though in the Rancor pit, in the Rancor stable, because there wasn't just one Rancor as well.
Oh, no!
Multiple Rancors. No, and there is a family of Rancors actually. The female Rancor had kids, and you can see as you hear a crash from somewhere else, one of the baby Rancors, they are not that little, looks up, makes a curious noise like and starts walking towards what the noise came from.
And I guess here La Villanos becomes La Rancoros, and the little baby Rancor is standing looking up from the pit as Ruben finishes his descent into the floor. This is the challenge, Ruben. You have a monster on you. This is man versus Rancor man.
Man versus Rancor man. That is awesome. Oh, by the way, I think when we finished up the bad feeling, everybody should have gotten 1 RPM when we finished up that theme, by the way. Just as a quick heads up. So give yourself 1. Everybody should give themselves 1 more RPM. And because I was about to have a bad feeling about this. But I was saying, all I'm trying to do is deliver some slick. As he pulls out his blaster, and it will definitely be a fighting, right? That's what's thrown at him. So he's gonna try to do that. Oof, this is scary. All right, here we go. And so this is what, a young adult Rancor, like a Rancor teen? Does the Rancor have like a mohawk or some kind of like earring or a bad tattoo?
The Rancor definitely has a the first bristles of like a weird scaly spike thing going on its hair and face. Yeah, it has a pretty intricate paint job done on the side of it, as if the Gamorrean thugs down here have been trying to tend to it and make it look more presentable and cool. It's not quite Jabba's favorite Rancor, but for Bib it'll do.
Nice. So someone pointed out that was another delay that's been thrown that will finish that out. So a delay for means the Levelanos should get an RPM, and then everybody gets an RPM because we've closed out the delays theme. Good way to stay on top of it. Good work, everybody. Good work, team. Did you mark this man versus monster 3? Yeah, okay, cool.
I've done so.
Fighting Rancor teen. Here we go. Here's my 2d6. Oh crap! It's a 2 and a 4. I know exactly what I want to do with this, though. Yeah. So we're doing fighting.
And you do have an option to use a 1 if you want to substitute it.
I mean, I could always hit Control Z if you think that's.
I've got enough RPM to buy that. I think I'm gonna. If you want to Control Z, you Control Z. That's your thing. You can totally do it if you want it.
No, go ahead, because that will push us up on the track a lot. And
well, I'm about to push us up on the track a lot anyway, because I was gonna buy myself up to a succeeding excellently. So I'm gonna put the 2 in results and the 4 in fighting. Not his first rodeo. So if the results of the die rolled 3 or less, re-roll and keep the new result. Okay, so result die, I'm putting the 2 in there. So maybe I don't have to put RPM. So I'm putting a 4 in fighting, which is not his first rodeo. I get to re-roll the D6. And let's see how that goes. A 4. Consequences. That seems appropriate. So it fires a blaster a couple of times. I think what we would hear that is fires a couple of times at the Rancor and scrambles out of the way, trying desperately not to be picked up.
I think the consequences are bad to worse. The teen Rancor slashes at Ruben, and as Ruben rolls away, one of the claws get caught in his boot and sends him thrown, spiraling to the other edge, to the other entrance of the Rancor pit, where there is the other Rancor teen, member of the family, waiting for him.
Crap. So bad to worse, huh? I have to roll again?
Retry the challenge. Describe the increased risk. You're now in a Rancor sandwich, Ruben. What are you gonna do?
Oh, I think fighting is off the table at this point. There's this wimpy blaster. His DL-44 is not going to bring him to victory here. So his plan is to try to scramble up and get out of this area, because I don't think he feels. I have the side tube. Yeah, okay. I'm going to run out the side tube. That sounds great. That's it. I'm doing wild card. Is the kick track or whatever it's called that I'll be using, and hopefully this works out. A 4 and a 1. Oh goodness. So a 4 is from adversity. Create a new theme related to the circumstances. Put 2 RPM on it. Oh, the side tube of the blaster. Oh, I thought some reason my brain thought you meant there was a side tube out of here. Yeah, he's still going to try to scramble out of the way and get away from these Rancor. Fighting just seems like a bad deal with 2 Rancor. You shoot one and then the other one eats you. Okay. So I've got a 4 and a 1. Oh, let's Campañero. What do you got?
Yeah, well, I'm watching. I'm like, well, now that happens. So I rolled and I get a 6. I don't know if that's useful to you.
Yes, Los Campañeros actions save Ruben from disaster. Replace the results die with a 5. So I'll put the 1 in that, which means I get to put the 4 in from adversity. I'll create a new theme related to the circumstances of this challenge. I think the theme is a bucket full of trouble. We've got the orbital gang, we've got 2 Rancor, we've got the various forces of Fortuna's gang. So, bucket of trouble. Two RPM has been placed on that. There we go. Sweet friendship. How is it that Los Campañero saves Ruben's bacon?
I think that essentially she pushes another button and one of the big cage things comes down and cuts off the rancor from you. So in that moment.
Perfect. Sweet. So one rancor is, or both rancor are cut off? Is that how the success happens?
Yeah, I think that's how I pictured it. But if
okay, I'm just making sure.
So, yeah.
No, that's I just didn't. I don't want to fight any more rancor. This is the worst delivery I've ever made.
Let's cut away from that for a second, because that was the kind of line that ends the scene, right? And then we have the cutaway scene, and we see it's Bib Fortuna's bed chamber. We saw that before. He's dressed now. He's ready to get out and do the thing. Maybe about the whole shooting stuff that's happening, which we can still hear in the background. And then there is a voice from somewhere in the back of the room. It's very dark. You can barely see the ground, but it's clearly him, and he says something like, "You must protect the weapon."
That's so good. Let's see. So we got Campañero, editor, La Balance. I think Ruben is going to try to find his way to make the deliveries, calling out ahead. Hey, Bib, I just want to hand this over. I know you want to try to send a message, but I can call this orbital gang off of your hide if we can finish this transaction. Come on, Bib.
Ruben, you walk around another corner calling this out, and out of the frying pan and into the bucket of trouble, you find yourself surrounded on all sides by Bib Fortuna and his gang. And he says, "We can end this now. If you give us the grass and call them off, you can live. If you don't, we'll kill you and kill your friends." Once again, you are surrounded by blasters. And yeah, that's the challenge, surrounded by blasters.
Awesome. Did you give yourself an RPM for hitting the theme? Yeah, I think Ruben says, well, I got to get some pay back to Sagan.
You really don't. The damage you've done to my palace, we'll take it out the cut.
And so he keeps reaching at the same time. His hands snaking down to his DL-44, and he flicks a button on the blasters. He pulls it out and fires that tube. And so now we'll go with fighting. This is crazy. Ruben is a foolish man. Why is he fighting all of these people?
Oh. That single die roll was mine. So if you need a 4.
Ooh,
I think that you would just see,
helping hand. Yeah,
under helping hand. Is because just that she is hitting buttons at this point, just hitting buttons. So, you can hear doors opening and closing, lights coming on and off.
I'm gonna stick the 5 in success, even though the 4 in fighting doesn't help me a whole lot. It's not Ruben's first rodeo. So the Ruben's first rodeo would have given me a different a re-roll if it were 3 or less, but it's not. But I do like the idea of success in this consequence without consequences. You know what? Do we want to give more consequences to poor Ruben? Let me look. Where are we at on the expenditures? We got 5 left. What do you guys think? Success with consequences? What does a 5 in the scrappy as hell do? 1 to result die. Oh, I'll just do that instead. So I put the 5 in scrappy as hell. And it will either allow me to avoid consequences or get 2 RPM that cannot be used in this challenge. I think I will take the 2 RPM. I'm going to be greedy for RPM, even though I've got more RPM than we have slots left. So it's successful consequence. So I didn't introduce the tube. I'm happy to hold. Did someone have in their headspace what was in the little secondary tube? I have fired it upon Bib's thugs. What were we thinking it was?
Rich, I think if you succeed with 5, you just succeed. 5 and 6 are the same result. 6 just gives you a buffer to not be brought down.
No. I put the 5 in fighting, scrappy as hell. Add 1s to results I or gain our 2 RPM. I chose to take the 2 RPM, which means the 4 goes into the results, therefore consequences.
Perfect.
Sorry, I talked around like 5 different results.
You're totally good. That was me not paying attention.
You go ahead.
I was just thinking, what if it is like essentially like a goop blast? Like essentially, just like
little Star-Lord action. He's got
exactly.
And then Sabine, what were your thoughts? Seemed like you were gonna throw out a suggestion.
I was going to have a soothsayer thing, jump back in time and to show something relevant in the past that affects the card, just like like somebody fixing up your gun. And I think it's a woman. She looks scrappy as hell. She's a Twi'lek with only 1 leku. She has only 1 eye, and yeah, it's a long story. And she's fixing up your gun. He says, puts this on and says, yeah, use this. You're really surrounded. Wait, let me check this. Sorry. Yeah, you only use this when you're in a bucket of trouble.
Great. So get your theme point. You've closed out the theme, so everybody gets 1 more RPM. I'm flush with RPM now. Mm-hmm. And you said so. Did you tick up a couple ticks on the progress tracker from that? Okay, I'll do it real quick. Bloop, bloop. All right. So he uses this goop gun, and a bunch of Bib's guys are knocked back and mired in tar and the like. And I think this is when Ruben walks up, drops the 10 kilos of Sweet Island Slick at Bib Fortuna's feet, and he says, I'm telling you, Bib, if I don't get paid, those guys are going to take more out of this palace. Let's just end this right now. Fork over the credits. And I'm out of your hair.
Bib holds up his hand, his one hand that he still has access to that's not been gooped to the wall, and he looks down the hallway. No, you can't take my creds. Clearly indicating to you, it's right down there, but I gotta be tough.
Okay. And he'll saunter down the hall to open, I guess like a wall vault or something where there's a bunch of credits in there, and he doesn't take any extra. He takes exactly what the agreed upon price is in not gold press platinum in credits, shovels it into a bag, and tell me if this is out of bounds. There's also a lightsaber in there.
Oh, actually.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think that you get like a thing of you hear over on the comms, oh, there's something right behind that. And she hits another button and like the wall comes up. And then there's like, there's the lightsaber and like the little shrine thing that it's on.
Cool. Are you spinning yep. Are you basically know it all? All right. Yep. This is right near the end here.
Yeah.
1 RPM left. Oh, wow. We're going to go over. And Ruben looks at it for a second. Now, I'm going to pause for a second. Didn't someone indicate that like his weapon is being used to power something now? I thought there was a mention of that.
That was the vision. That was the vision.
So is the kyber crystal out of this now? It's just a housing?
It could have been a future vision. It could
have been just a plan or something.
So we have the camera cut inside the vault. We see Ruben reach in, and he reaches into the second vault there and pulls out the lightsaber. Looks like a camera part.
And at that moment, Bib Fortuna's Twi'lek servant, who is hanging out in his room, fires a shot at Ruben's back.
Oh, he shot dramatically in the back. That's awesome.
Final man versus man challenge. What do you do?
Sweet. This is a Twi'lek servant. It's not the Twi'lek who doctored the gun and has the cool scar and missing leg. This
would have been the Twi'lek who woke up Bib Fortuna earlier and was getting him ready.
Okay.
They're hiding out in here.
Major Domo to the former Major Domo. Cool. I think he's going to turn and he's going to fire a couple of blaster shots at this guy. Yeah, I think. Ooh, that's true. He fires, reflexively fires the blaster shots, but then, he's of course going to have to ignite the saber here to defend himself because that didn't take it out. So here we go.
Oh, can I give you another quick soothsayer? That is you just see Ruben's hand when he grabs the lightsaber. It's just a quick cutaway of his hand dropping the lightsaber and walking away.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. That is a rude eruption. No, it's a cool cutaway. And that's been the last point. That's all, Slemos. Nice. So are we not doing the fight then? Like the editor has taken over and cut this and ended it differently?
No, I think we should. No, let's just go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Please, I want to see how this ends.
Okay, here we go.
Well,
a 3 and a 4.
Oh.
A 6 from the Campañero.
Yes.
You are so helpful, Campañero.
That's right. She's got all the buttons. So what does this mean? So 6 is, my actions save you from disaster. Replace a results die with a 5.
Okay. And then I've got 3 and 4. I'll go lucky shot. Challenging player gets a 1 RPM. Los Velanos, you got an RPM out of that. Yay. What does it look like, Los Velanos, when Ruben succeeds against you?
I think it's Ruben whirls about, instinctually firing and igniting his saber, blocking the blaster bolt across his torso. The bolt reflects into the hallway, and you hear one of Bib's thugs, "Ow!" And Ruben, his first shot takes the blaster out of their hands. The second shot hits them in the leg.
Nice. And I think Ruben, having gotten payment for the Sweet Island, will head outside, maybe bring his fingers up to his mouth and let out a whistle, and the orbital posse who have been bombarding Jabba's palace will back off, and he'll head back to his rickety ship. The last thing we see is him flying, leaving Tatooine, and the scary orbital posse taking off after him, right?
Cut away.
Nice. Cool. Any last bits folks want to end in before we declare this done?
Me. Pick me.
Yeah. What you got?
Well, as we see the ship fly away, Ruben's ship fly away with his orbital posse, we see another ship starting from Tatooine. It's not a TIE fighter, it's a dark little ship, like the same make like the Slave One maybe. and it's following.
Good. Oh, that's so good. Sister Serenity is the best Campañero ever.
Best dice that I've ever had. So there you go.
So good. Just soak in the helpfulness. Well, that brings our adventure Liminal on the Desert Planet to a close. A little earlier than, I wasn't sure if we'd have a full 3 hour out of this. So this is about right. I don't know if I'd want to play this for like 4 straight hours, but I do like 2 sessions of it to get through an adventure. You guys want to do a quick bit of stars? Sweet. Sister Serenity kicks ass. I'll steal that one. I'm just going to lead off. Really, Sabine, I really enjoyed you as editor. You used it. I think you were the best of us. You were the best editor of us, although there were some good other editors, but I really enjoyed your insertions and how you were very proactive in that. Cody, you're a great villain. Very funny. I didn't even try to do the huge Meg voice you were doing. I don't know why I decided to go completely, like a completely different actor was playing the same character, and I realized it about 2 sentences in and went, well, I'm just gonna stick with it.
That's the way to do it, I think. Yeah, that's the way to go.
It was so interesting to watch.
Different actor, but the same mask.
Same mask, exactly.
It's kind of like the Boba Fett, like by this character, this guy. This felt a lot more coherent and driven, and I felt like we communicated where our intent was better together this time around than before. It was fun. I felt like things kind of shaped together, and we got to hit all of the highlights of going into Jabba's palace that I wanted to hit. So I was really happy with this session. So those are my stars.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I second just about everything you said, Rich. I also really liked just all of the NPCs that were created in this game. I can already tell, especially at that ending cutaway, that some of them are going to show up again. And all right, I hope. It's just, there's something that's one of the best parts about Star Wars Saturdays is existing in this consistent expanded universe of stuff. And so everybody building that up and not cutting it down, I think is really cool. So that's the star I want to give to everybody.
Oh, the only wish is I wish we'd see Cheeto and Frisbee. Like those two, the names alone are characters that I wanted to see on screen. Names. And we didn't. And there's actually even pictures of them at the back of the book. Of course, they're not, Star Wars-ified, but they're pretty funny looking.
I think all of you were awesome, and you brought the energy, and I kind of am cold, so I spent more time protecting everyone from my cold than anything else, because man, is my nose stuffed up. But no, I'm just sorry because my energy level was low, but you guys all made up for it. It was super fun to watch and super fun to participate in on the bits that I could muster something. So I'm really fun to play with this. I would love to play with you guys again in anything like this. Also, I had to look up Bantha to figure out if they were like herding creatures or what. Slowed me down on that. So good times. I just love learning more about the world, and I love your continuity.
Yeah, we'll give out stars all around. This was a fun game, a fun session. I think this time it was a lot more smoothly than last, and we got to a very nice ending for the arc. So yeah, stars to all of you. I love the voices, I love the NPCs, I love the odd ideas out of the left field, like the group gun. That was fun. And yeah, so yeah, it felt like a 70s, almost a 70s Star Wars-ified road movie thingy, like one episode of it, though. Yeah, so just, yeah.
Cool. thanks everybody for playing, and thanks for everybody who decided to watch this crazy bit of fun. With that, I'll bring the recording to a close.